Hi guys, welcome to another video from betfairtradingcommunity.com. I've already done this live video once, but for some reason it won't upload, so I've got rid of it. I'm just going to do a quick short one, just kind of summary of the first video I did. And the topic I'm going to talk about today is football leagues and why they matter. So what I mean by that is the leagues you trade, differentiating between good leagues, bad leagues to trade, etc, etc. Because I don't think it's talked about enough. I don't think enough people consider this, when actually, if you actually look at your trading results, it can make a massive difference. Now, one of our members has done a brilliant, almost case study, if you will, on this when they've tested one of their filters. So I'm going to go through some of those results just to kind of demonstrate the difference it can make. And yeah, it's just really important, basically, to do this, because when you're trading, you want to make sure that you're getting the best possible edge that you can. And obviously, anything that can improve our strike rate, you know, as long as we're still getting plenty of selections, you don't want to just improve your strike rate slightly but diminish nearly all of your selections, because as we know, even small profits more regularly are going to beat the odd big profit if you're hardly ever getting a selection when you do filter down. But fortunately, with this bit of work this member's done, we can see that actually, even without extracting and taking out loads of results, they've still managed to streamline and improve their strategy and their strike rate quite considerably. So what this member's done, and what I think is brilliant, is they've graded the leagues. So that basically they've got two categories: A leagues and B leagues, and I guess it's countries as well more than leagues, so you could kind of say A countries and B countries, and then they've listed them as A or B, basically ranked on how they rate the league for trading, whether they think it's a good league for trading, whether liquidity is good, etc, etc. So I'm going to go through a little example of a few of these leagues. I'll actually post all of this stuff up on our strategies page, so if you're a member of betfairtradingcommunity.com, just go onto our strategies page. I'll do that in the next couple of days, probably tomorrow at the latest, and I'm going to upload this as a strategy just to kind of have somewhere we can reference and see which leagues are working. Now, bear in mind with this, a lot of our focus is always on going for goals, mainly because my main trading focus is I like to go for goals. I don't like to bet on unders too often. So for example, I think I've got about 14-15 strategies testing, and I think one of them is an under strategy. So kind of my focus is on going for goals. I think it's important sometimes to have a specific focus as well, because we always say, right, stick to one sport at a time, learn one sport before you move on to another. But you almost want to have a subcategory of learning something specific about a sport, learning a specific trading angle before fully trying to move on to something else, if that's even necessary at all. Because if you do focus on one element, so the element I focus on is going for goals, and you do have success like we have, then there's no real reason for me to try and focus on something else. I might as well keep refining what I'm doing. I used an example earlier where if you think about maybe being a university student or something like that, where you get to pick your modules, right, or you get to pick what you specialize in. That's kind of what you're doing here. So it's really interesting, isn't it? Because we can focus more, we can improve our skills more in one area, and that just boosts us as a trader. What you don't want to do is spread yourself too thinly. So even if you're just trading one sport, you don't want to be trying to look at every different market, every different angle. Try and focus on one or two things and try and really just learn those to the maximum, because that will really help you. But anyway, so bear in mind that these leagues are going to be more focused towards going for goals leagues. So I'm just going to run through a handful of them just so you kind of get the gist of what I mean. So for example, this member's put Austria as an A league, but Belarus as a B league. So Austria as a strong trading league, Belarus not so much. Belgium as an A league, Croatia as a B league, same thing there. Denmark as an A league, and then Ecuador as a B league. So that's how they've split it. I think you can kind of get the general idea. It's looking more at maybe more unreliable leagues potentially, and definitely leagues with less liquidity, because we know Ecuador, Croatia and Belarus are going to have less liquidity than Austria, Belgium and Denmark. So I guess the good news with all of this is a lot of the better leagues to trade do have more liquidity, probably as a result that they're better to trade. Maybe it's because they're slightly more reliable, or who knows, maybe it's just because they're a little bit better for goals. But yeah, so a lot of the top leagues obviously will be the ones that have the most liquidity because they're going to be the most popular leagues in those countries. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea about how we're differentiating between A and B. Like I say, I'll get all this data put up on the strategies page anyway on our website, so go and check that out if you're not quite sure, or if you just want to see what leagues look like A and B. Maybe you go for goals as well, I don't know. But if you don't go for goals, one of the things you can do obviously is look at it yourself and go, okay, I'm going to differentiate the leagues myself. I'm going to do lots of testing and I'm going to work out which leagues work for me and which leagues don't. Because literally all that matters is that you're finding the leagues that are making you the most profit. So anyway, I'm going to go through some of the results. So this system was created as a filter using our software. So betfairtradingcommunity.com, if you don't know, we've got software that basically you put in your criteria and it will give you a list of selections to trade that day. So this member has done that. They've created a system, a software from our software to use, and they've looked at all leagues and gone and tested it. So Grade A leagues, so we're looking for second half goals. This is what the system is looking for. Second half goal in the Grade A leagues was hitting, and it's over 180 results, was hitting 91% of the time, right? So that's amazing. 91% strike rate on second half goals. This sounds like a brilliant filter, right? This member's come up with a great filter. But anyway, we're not really looking, I'm not really focusing on how good the filter is. What I want to focus on is the difference between A and B. So we now go to the B leagues and their rate is 85% second half goals. So that's a 6% difference there, which it might not sound a lot to a lot of people, 6%, but that is a huge, huge amount when you're trading. If you think about that over, let's say even 100 results, that means you're winning 6 more trades and you're losing 6 more on the other one. So basically you're looking at a much bigger profit if you're going at 91% rather than 84% or 84.6% as this one is. It really does make a difference, doesn't it? Then they've looked at 60 minutes. So after 60 minutes, 86%. And then B leagues were only having 73%. So after 60 minutes, there was a goal 13% more often in the Grade A leagues. And that is a huge difference. You know, you might have thought 6%, not that big a deal. Well, it is, but 13% is huge. I've done the same on 70, the gap's 13 again. At 80 minutes, the gap expands even further. And they win, they have a goal after 80 minutes, 56% of the time. And in the B leagues, only 38.5%. So again, that's a massive difference, isn't it? And it's going to make a massive difference to your trading when you're doing it. Now, what I like is that there's actually a lot more selections from the A leagues than the B leagues. So filtering out the B leagues does not diminish any returns, because it's not like, you know how sometimes if you get rid of some leagues, you might be taking out all of your selections pretty much. Well, this isn't doing that. There's still 2 to 1 times the amount of selections from the A league to the B league. So basically, there's really nothing to lose by filtering out these bad leagues. What I like is that this member, so in total, this member's got 258 results. Now, I don't think there's anything definitive you can conclude from this yet. I'd probably want at least another 250 results, maybe even pushing that up even further. But looking at it at the moment, you have to say there's some really clear correlation, isn't there, between the Grade A leagues being better to trade than the Grade B leagues. And the thing is, if you can find a strategy that's profitable regardless, like this one is, then when you do filter out the bad leagues, you're just looking at massive profits. You know, you're looking at really good returns. So it's amazing. It's amazing work that's going on. And I just wanted to highlight that today, because I don't think a lot of people either take this into consideration or think about really filtering out leagues themselves. What great work what great work we see again on the BTC forum. What great work. I love the fact this member shared as well. He shared his filters on the forum with us. So again, the other benefit of Betfair Trading Community is that we all share together. I think one of the things people don't like in the trading industry is that some people are very kind of insular, and they won't tell you anything. And the reason we created BTC was to try and be just open and honest and all these things that really you didn't get in anywhere else in the industry, because essentially, actually, because there's an argument, right? So a lot of people think, yeah, but if you help people, aren't you diminishing your own potential as a trader? Well, you've got to remember a couple of things here. Betfair traders actually make up a very minuscule amount of the market. So effectively, on a liquid game, it's not going to make any real difference. But more importantly, the amount you gain by sharing and working collaboratively, the amount you gain from that far outweighs anything you might think, oh, I lose a tiny bit of my edge if I share things, because you pick up things from other people, you learn from other people, and we see that on a daily basis. So that's quite encouraging. I mean, just think about it. If you want another example kind of outside of trading, right? Think about it from the perspective of a company. Companies work together, right? They get all their data, they analyze it, they all work together, because that collaborative thing actually makes something that is far greater than if you just try to do it all as an individual. And you can't put a price. You can't put a price on the help you can get. You can't put a price on the fact that people work together. And I did do a much longer video. I think it was about half an hour. I'm just going to pull this one in a minute. But if you do want to get in touch about any of this stuff, the best way to do that, obviously, on here is just comment in the videos. I do try and answer every comment, so now I get a lot of feedback. And again, thanks for the feedback, guys, because I love the fact that the ridiculous amount of our feedback is positive. And it does help. It does help, and it does help me keep going, because trading, at the end of the day, I make my living trading. So this stuff is just work on top of that. But the fact that I can help people is, it just makes it all worthwhile. And the fact that it's well received as well, because obviously I wouldn't keep plowing on if it wasn't. So yeah, I do have to say thanks to everyone who watches and all the nice messages I get. Like I say, I do try to reply to all of them, and I think I do. But if I do miss anything and you comment, just catch me on email, info@betfairtradingcommunity.com. Remember to subscribe to our channel as well, because you'll get updates. You'll get updates like when I'm live and things like this, because I don't always have time to promote and say I'm going to be live, but luckily these do get put up on YouTube after anyway. So if you subscribe, I think you get notified every time there's a video, which is going to help you get the information quicker. And obviously, if you do enjoy what you're watching, it's well worth doing that. The other way, of course, if you're a member of Betfair Trading Community, get on the forum and get on your private coaching thread, because me and Ryan are the only people who see that thread, so we can work with you one-on-one. And it's actually quite detailed. It's much better than an email flow, because you can really start to work with each other. You can see all the comments that you've made to each other, and just go through the training that way. And I think I do spend a decent part of my time when I'm not trading actually doing that, but it's so worth it, because some of the stories, some of the success that people are having, and watching people move up the levels, there's nothing better than when that guy says to me, or girl says to me one day, I'm moving to be a semi-pro trader today, or I'm actually making the jump to full-time today. That's what it's all about, right? That's what we all want, because all I'm really interested in is making money on Betfair trading, and I'm sure it's the same for you. So yeah, keep working together. Keep working hard and do the research, test. The example of what this member has done here is that they've tested something, and they're keeping to testing things, and they're comparing things. You can't test enough in this game. Think of trading as an investment in your money, right? And I used this example earlier if you saw the last video. Think of trading as an investment. And if you invest, you want to research your investment, right? You want to research your opportunities. I use the example actually because I think it's quite a good one, because I've had loads of birthdays recently. Because in my house, me, my wife and my son's birthday are all in the span of 10 days, right? So September's a crazy month for us. And it's amazing that even, so say Roz asked me for something, or I have an idea of something I want to get Roz, even that, I will spend time researching, right? Because I know what it is. I'm not researching what the present is. What I'm researching is, where can I get the best price? You know, I pick up all these different things. I go, okay, what can I do? How can I save? I might spend half an hour and save £1, £2, right? Big deal. Is it worth the time? Well, it is to me. I don't know. But the reason it is to me is it's kind of a way of being, right? It's kind of a way of being that I've developed from being a trader. I like to find the value where I can. So in that respect, I like to save as much money as I can. And I just kind of take that into every aspect and element of my life. And I guess, you know, maybe Roz isn't too happy about that, because, you know, I'm quite, I say careful with money, but I think she'd say tight with money. But I think at times it's the right way to be. You know, if I make an investment, I want to make sure it's the best one. I want to make sure it's the best value I can get, and it's worth researching. It's the same with trading. You know, test. You can't do too. The fact is, you cannot do too much testing. There's a reason, and I've said this before. There's a reason why companies pay people thousands of pounds to do data science analysis. Computers are very capable of this stuff, right? But there's a reason why they spend thousands of pounds getting humans, getting guys like us to do that kind of research. And that's why testing is so valuable, and can be so valuable to you, because it can help you create a career for yourself. You know, you don't have to worry about what's going on in the world right now with unemployment and all that stuff. If you can create your own career trading on Betfair, no one can tell you, you know, you're sacked, you're fired, you know, unless you fire yourself. I mean, the only way I can get fired is if I fire myself now. So, you know, it's a nice place to be, and it does kind of help when you get things like coronavirus and all this that's going on at the moment right now. Anyway, guys, hope you're all well. Again, thanks for the lovely messages. Really do appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, obviously give it a thumbs up and subscribe.